I am Alex Wilkinson. I'm here with Science in the News, Channel 14, with John Hopgood, Cole Falls, Skylar Woods, and Madeline Keith. We are on the topic of invasive species, which are animals that are foreign to an area, and they come in, they outcompete the other animals and native plants. And John, you there?
Yeah.
We're gonna pan over to John, and he's gonna tell us what makes an invasive species invasive.
What makes an animal invasive, such as a plant, fish, bacteria, and even seeds or eggs of an organism, if it reduces quickly, spreads aggressively, and has potential to cause harm. Invasive species are sometimes not native to an ecosystem, which can cause harm. There are also invasive species that are native to an ecosystem, such as the lake trout, and native to the Great Lakes, which are considered an invasive species in the Yellowstone Lake because they compete with native cutthroat trout for a habitat.
Yeah, John, I hear you loud and clear, and we're going to pan over to Cole. He's going to tell us what makes an invasive species a threat.
Alex, I can hear you loud and clear. Invasive species can cause great harm to wildlife in many ways. When a new aggressive species is introduced into an ecosystem, it might not have its own natural predators or controls. It can breed and spread quickly, taking over an area. Native wildlife cannot evolve to defend themselves against invasive species. There's a lot of direct threats of invasive species, preying on native wildlife and outcompeting. The indirect threats of changing food webs, decreasing biodiversity, and altering ecosystems. Take it back to Alex.
Well, I hear you, and we're going to go over to Madeline Keith with why invasive species spread.
Invasive species can be spread in many ways. Primarily, they are spread by human activities, often unintentionally. The goods we use and take around the world can carry invasive species with them. Another way it can be spread by wood products. When insects get into the wood, shipping platelets and crates that are sent to different countries. One other way is when ornamental plants can escape into the wild and become invasive.
Okay, Madeline, now we're going to go to Skylar with examples of invasive species and examples of invasive species.
Some examples of invasive species are the Asian carp, the West Nile virus, and Congo
Hey,
bear.
Skylar, and there are also ways that we can curb invasive species. There's simple things you can do to help. Some of these things are planting some native plants and remove any invasive plants. You can do this in just your yard and your neighbors. You could also study and learn about the invasive species in your area, and when you see them, report them. When you buy plants, make sure they're not invasive. And when you travel to foreign areas, don't bring back any fruits or vegetables because they can bring an invasive species home with these. It may not seem like those things can really change a lot, but they can. The best way to curb invasive species is keep them from getting here, period. What is that? Is that an invasive species?
Southeastern muskrat rat.
Report on invasive species.
John Hopgood.
Alex Wilkinson, Cole Falls,
Madeline Keith.
Skylar Woods.
and we are the
Science in the News team.